Hello, beautiful beings of light. In today's video, I wanted to discuss my 40-day screen cleanse, and it's been about that long since I've made a video, and I kind of just wanted to unpack the revelations I've had during the last 40 days or so, and what Spirit has, asked me to convey as far as a collective message. So, the last time I made a video, I had posed the question, or I had made the statement that you had been put into a box in order to break out of it. And I spoke a lot about how we were being compressed down in order to expand and in order for our consciousness to expand. And personally, for me, during that now moment, I was just receiving so many just kind of mind-blowing downloads from Spirit, and I felt like my crown chakra had just been blown wide open. And the thing I love about Spirit is that once that started happening for me, then through the information that was entering my consciousness, I was directed to material that really kind of validated the information in which I'd been receiving from my team in Spirit, and that came through the form of my twin flames. So you're probably only gonna hear me use that term once, because the concept of twin flame, the paradigm, the thought form of twin flame, I believe has been so kind of distorted and kind of commercialized over the years that I've noticed that when I identify specifically with that label, that it kind of pulls me into the thought form of the collective thought form of it. So I prefer to use the term ascension partner. So my ascension partner was going through his own journey at the time, in which he was doing a lot of investigating, a lot of searching out answers in relationship to the virus, and he was led to the work and material of Dolores Cannon, who I had previously been kind of led to, and Spirit had nudged me to take a look at. And through that, I began reading the raw materials. And through the raw materials, I just was like, my whole world was like, blown wide open, and everything that Spirit had been conveying to me was being confirmed, and I was having all of these insights, and along with other bits of information and concepts and things that were just, it was like light speed, all of this, these visions and downloads and channeling that was happening to me. But at the same time, the other thing that was happening is that I was becoming aware that my energy was really being scattered, kind of, all over the place. And, I was jumping from one thing to another because, my mind was kind of working overtime with all of the information that I was receiving. And I was really excited about the revelations that I was having. But it also came into my awareness that, as a collective during this time, and still now, our third eye was coming under attack. and our throat chakras, and that there, were motives, by the various different, however you want to label it, whether you want to call that just service to self or New World Order or the powers that be, that there really was an agenda, and that it was, really targeting the collective's, kind of third eye. And, as light workers, and anyone that had identified as a light worker previously, we knew that 2020 was going to be a time where we had been practicing, like for this now moment, to stay in neutrality and to stay in, fifth dimensional consciousness, and that it was going to be important to the collective to be able to stay in a space of neutrality. And for me, that was becoming more and more difficult to do as the energy of the collective was really entered into a fear state and was becoming super hyped up. And, social media, it was just prevalent, no matter where you looked. And so I got this, I got my, hold on here, my little pendulum. So show me, no. Hopefully you can see this. So, really you can call that whatever you want to, but I wanted to give you a visual. So if you want to call that a thought form, if you want to call that a pendulum, Zadig calls it a pendulum. Abraham Hicks says, that you are in resistance if you're fighting against this. Eckhart Tolle would call that a pain body. So it was becoming more and more clear that these pendulums were really ramping up. Show me yes. And the thing about a pendulum is, and they'll tell you, that it doesn't matter which direction you're coming from. If you're yes or no, if you're good or bad or right or wrong, you are feeding energy into the same thought form, paradigm, pendulum, whatever you want to call that. Still. So the only way out of that pendulum is through stillness. And that is what Spirit asked me to do. They asked me to still myself and to become reacquainted with myself. And it started really with just this very fluid, I'm going to do 30 days of no social media. And, you can do this any way you choose to. There are no rules. My self-imposed rule was, no Facebook, no Instagram. And it wasn't like I was like crazy into social media prior to this, but it was going to be to withdraw from that completely. No live television, or replays of, what was going on in current events, to withdraw from that completely. And if I were to use YouTube, it wouldn't be anybody else's energy reports or tarot readings or anything. The only thing that I would use YouTube for would be for meditation purposes and for reading material or audiobooks that I was studying. And I got this, I journal and write, anyway, all the time. And so I pulled out one of my journals here, and I just began. And I started really focusing on the reality in which I wanted to create, the pendulum in which I wanted to be a part of, of my own creation. And, like anything in the mirror of our reality, there is a delay from the time that you consciously choose to create it and it's reflected back to you. So I think it was about day 10 or 11 where I really had like, a absolutely, I knew it was going to be like a life altering breakthrough. And I began meditating in earnest twice a day, and I've done that now. I think I'm on like day 46 or 47. I can't remember. But each morning I would wake up and write in my journal the evidence of my manifestations, my segment intention for that day, and the goals of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to, really expand into. And it was it was amazing. I feel like I actually became reacquainted with my own self and my own energy, and the insights that I've had in meditation have just been amazing. And my team in spirit has just been so close to me during this time. And I really began to just fall in love with myself and fall in love with my life and realize that neutrality really isn't difficult if you are able to be still. One of the mantras, that's the other thing that I've been doing daily, is writing the mantra that I want to focus on. So one of the mantras that came up for me during this 40 days, I ended up extending it into 40 days because I was just feeling so inspired by it all. So one of the things that came about was, I really reevaluated my relationship with food and my body, and being disabled, you can't always rely on your body to cooperate for you. But I wanted to feel more grounded in my body and to get my body moving more and to learn how to balance out my energy, where I could be more active on some days and rest on others, and see where that would take me. And so one of the mantras that I started using whenever I would prepare and eat food, and still am, is that food is my friend and that it's working for me. Another mantra that I've been using daily is be still and know that I am God. And it's really brought into my present awareness to still the mind, and how much more present and in the now we are when we still the mind. I could go on and on with the insights and the healing and transmutation that have happened during this past 40 days. My relationship with my family members is just leaps and bounds from where it was previously. We got a backyard tent, and I've been staying out there at night with my son and meditating under the stars, and have been using the opportunity to be out there with these solar events that are happening. We've been, my husband and I have been cooking over a fire. We started taking walks together and doing little bike rides together. And my relationship with nature has just been out of this world. And if you would have asked me, 40 days ago, if I could have felt this amazing and in love with life, given everything that's going on with the state of the collective. I really wouldn't have, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't have thought it was possible, but now that I'm experiencing it as part of my resonant frequency, I could not recommend this enough. To find a way to get to your stillness, find a way to get to neutrality. Get in your own energy, create your own reality. It is doable. You don't have to do a all-out screen cleanse. Maybe you do want to try it. But there is, it is epidemic right now in the collective that our energy is scattered, that we are being bombarded with so much messaging, that we are being told visions, and it is phoretic. It is so over the top that I don't know how any human being could possibly process or take in or come from a heart space and know truly where they were going, what they were doing at this moment in time. So, whether that's you want to limit your screen time to, so many minutes or hours per day, or you want to start journaling, or, make it a goal to, meditate for, so many minutes once to twice a day. But make time for yourself. Make time for yourself. Make time to connect with Source, with your heart, to integrate your mind and your heart together. It is so close right now. Source and our team in spirit are so close, and they're just waiting for you to ask for them to step in and to help. And that's all it really takes, is just setting the intention that you are going to create your reality, and that you were not going to allow reality to be created for you. So I hope that helps somebody out there. And I am going to be doing so many more videos to come. When I started this channel, for those of you that aren't aware, many years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it is a mutation of the collagen within your body, which causes your joints to dislocate upon movement, as amongst many, many other things. It affects every aspect of your body, from your organs to your skin to your joints, your heart. But at the time I was diagnosed, very little was known about this condition, and I was given until I was 40 to live. And I operated under that belief for so many years, for nearly a decade. And it drove me into the lowest states of consciousness for many, many years. And when I started this channel, it was with the intention that, if you could become your own passion project, if you could give yourself a chance, what would that look like in your life? And, if I could just help one person do that, or inspire them in some way, then I would be helping in the way that I was intended to do, because I'm 41 now, and that was just a belief, and I am doing better now than I ever have been. And the Spirit has brought it to my attention that there's so much more that I could be sharing with you guys about my life and my inspirations, and just more than just these the videos that I'm doing. So I'm hoping to come, for more of a vlog perspective, and just share with you the things that have aided and helped me in my life, and in the hopes that you would be able to glean something from it. So love, light, and blessings to all of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.